Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar speaking. In today's second video of the day, it's a double upload, is about Ciro Immobile. Now I've made it no secret that I have been a fan of this particular striker for quite a while. I love what he's done at Lazio. I've admired him from afar. I followed the Italian national team for a very, very long time. And I would like to say that I am well aware that he is under a lot of scrutiny, especially when it comes to the national team, because he seems to struggle. Now, I posted a reel yesterday about what happened between the Northern Macedonian national team and the Italian national team when the game ended in a 1-1 draw. And I specified Immobile's goal as, something good, something that showed us that there could be more to come from this player, because let's face it, you have a new manager, a manager who thinks very differently to Mancini, who deploys his players differently, who has developed a way to analyze the players before him on a more merit-based level than Mancini. And that is not to imply that Mancini does not do that. But every manager looks at merit in a different way. Conte is a very good example of that. And the national team that he built at the time when he was managing Italy is a prime example, in my humble opinion. But I don't want to digress too much. Now, Spalletti has a very different outlook. And the fact that he is prepared to take Immobile back into the national team, and the fact that he managed to put him front and center with the captain's armband on his shoulder, was a bit of a statement of intent, in my humble opinion, because this means that he has faith in this player, that he thinks that he could do better than he's done. It's a very important aspect, whether you believe in this or not, in regards to this one player in particular, that showing faith in a player who has the ability but has struggled is an important piece of character or man management. If you see someone who has the potential to do better and has struggled to do so under a couple of different managers throughout the years past, you're going to want to try and see whether or not you can take that on as a challenge and prune this player to bring the best out of him and say, okay, well, they couldn't bring the best out of him. Maybe I can. Maybe my methods will. Maybe the way I do things will. Because taking a chance on players is a very important aspect of being a great manager. Now, Spalletti has done very well for himself to get this far. He was a prime candidate to take over the job. And he has. He's gotten off to a rocky start. But it is important to realize that this is where you take risks. They could be risks that the fan base doesn't enjoy, and that's okay. We're all fans. We all think we know what's best from the sidelines. We all have things to say about managers. We don't see training. We don't see how these players operate. We don't know how they operate under pressure in different circumstances. We simply see the final product. It's a very, very difficult thing to actually bring out someone's potential when they're not under fire and throw it onto a silver platter, present it in the final product, because that's what differentiates good players from great players. I have always seen Immobile as a striker who could do a lot better in blue. I have always seen this, and by blue I mean the Italian national team's blue, not Chelsea, for anyone wondering, because this one sentence could easily be taken out of context or put in a very different context. I don't care. The point being, Immobile is a very good striker. If Spalletti could get him firing, then the praise will be directed his way. And I used to hear this quote all the time. When a player is doing well, he gets all the praise. When a player is doing badly, the manager gets all the criticism. Maybe it used to be that way. Now things are a little different. But there is a bit of truth to it. I think that whatever risk Spalletti is going to take, because of how much he cares about this team, because he has his own way, and he's prepared to put himself on the line, in the line of fire, and on the line as well, we could see certain players play at levels that they haven't. He could fulfill things that other managers have not. He could light a spark in these players, in this one striker in particular. I really want to see Immobile do well. I don't think any Italian fan doesn't want to see him do well as long as he starts. You could hate a player as much as you want, but as soon as the whistle blows, you have to back them. That's the whole point of the game, really. I mean, I've had to watch some woeful players put on the Chelsea shirt for years, and I've had to back them as soon as the whistle kicked off. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to want someone to do well and to be frustrated when they're not, and then to want to take them out of the equation altogether. Maybe people should be more patient. In this particular context, again, I say, new management, new philosophy, new approach to things. Maybe some of the same players are there. So let's give them time and see how they do. If he won't be doing all that well, he's probably not going to play any longer than he has to. It's obvious. Spalletti's not going to be one to cut corners or mince words. So we have to give him credit where it's due if it does pay off, and criticize him constructively if it doesn't. As for Immobile, outside of the managerial sphere, him doing well for the national team, especially now, bearing in mind that the team has struggled to qualify to two consecutive World Cups, will give the people hope. Because the Italians want someone up front who resembles the great names that we've grown up to watch. Even those I've missed. Baggio, for example, I never got to watch him, but I know how great he was. Totti, Inzaghi, Del Piero, Luca Toni, even Gilardino, the list goes on. The Italians want a player to manifest that level of excellence, or to at least be as clinical. Because strikers differ, their profiles differ. They don't express themselves in the same way. And you'd want him to do well. He's got the armband on, for God's sake. So let's give him a chance. And that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's a pretty odd one, I know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. And if you like this video, leave a like, hit the bell notifications button to be notified whenever we upload content, because we do so on a daily basis. If you have anything to say, the comments section is there for healthy discourse and healthy discourse only. And if you have anything else to say that is inappropriate, just give it to yourself. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you all next time the whistle blows.